Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins. News broke this week that For Honor's players were organizing a boycott of the game for early next week. A boycott of a game they'd already purchased, let's be clear. The central Reddit thread currently has 12,000 upvotes, and it looks like it may have worked even though it hasn't happened yet. Ubisoft announced some changes for the game yesterday, including the return of a map that players have been asking for, an improvement to steal income, and compensation for some of the game's recent outages. A Ubisoft rep also commented on the thread saying, "I can confirm that the team went through all the points you raised and we will be addressing them." So despite all that, the community still insists that the boycott will go ahead as scheduled on Monday. In other news, some For Honor fans don't know what a boycott is or what it's supposed to do. Nintendo Switch has gotten off to a very good start in its first month, and one analyst thinks it could even reach the heights of the record-breaking 3DS. These comments come from good old Michael Pachter, aka the Pack Attack, who said on his recent web show, "I actually think the Switch is going to end up selling about as well as the 3DS. It's at a higher price point, but ultimately, if it comes down to $149, then ultimately, 3DS style, 13 million units a year is possible." That's a pretty bold prediction considering the 3DS has moved around to 64 million units total. Part of that prediction, according to Pachter, is that the Switch will be the easy second choice for people who already own either an Xbox One or PlayStation 4. Rather than buy the other one, they might get a Switch, which was, if you guys remember, do you remember this was actually a big thing in the last generation? Xbox actually had a marketing deal where like, you can get an Xbox 360 and a Wii for less than a PS3. Remember that? That was a thing. They actually did Nintendo's marketing for them. And then Nintendo blew them out of the water, and I think they stopped talking about it. We haven't heard much about the PS4 exclusive Days Gone in a while, but if a recent retail posting is to be believed, still on schedule for this year. The open-world zombie shooter got a listing on Austrian retailer Games Only for August 22nd. That's a Tuesday for those keeping score at home, and since it isn't the end of a quarter, this might just be the tiniest chance that it's not a placeholder. Days Gone was first unveiled at E3 last year, but Sony's been relatively silent about it since then, leaving some to wonder if it could get pushed back. Hopefully, we'll hear more about the game and whether or not we're actually getting it this year at E3 again. BioShock creator Ken Levine's next game, still a bit of a mystery, but he's been opening up about it just a little bit more this week. Levine's been making the press rounds at EGX Rezzed and has been giving a few indications about what to expect. For starters, he spoke more about how the game is going to rely on a more ambitious version of the Nemesis system seen in Shadow of Mordor. In an on-stage interview, Levine said, "One of the most important things about what we're doing now is this concept of radical recognition, that if the player does something, the game should, as often as we can, recognize that accomplishment or failure or whatever it is and find ways to have the world feed back that it cares." And speaking with Eurogamer, he also said that the next game would be harder than what we've experienced in BioShock. So, a couple of hints at least. Following criticism about Breath of the Wild's technical performance, looks like Nintendo's updated the game with a patch to fix the frame rate problems, or some of them at least. According to several outlets who've tested the new patch, like Game Explained, the patch does indeed address some of the game's most problem-plagued areas, significantly improving the frame rate. It also reportedly helps some of the game's issues in docked mode on the Nintendo Switch. Now, they just need to fix the broken weapons, because I can't keep the ones that I really like. Do you want to join the ranks of a video game developer who also happens to be one of the industry's biggest current punching bags? Why wouldn't you? Judging by some new postings on their website, it looks like Hello Games is hiring several positions for the No Man's Sky team. According to the company's job page, they're filling spaces for a technical director as well as multiple programmers. Some of these positions are no doubt needing to be filled after several notable departures since the release of No Man's Sky. Back in November, one of their lead designers launched himself out of the airlock to land on Star Citizen. Of course, there's always the chance these could be new positions for future games by the studio, but we do know that they're still working hard on No Man's Sky's upcoming content updates, so that as well. A moment of silence for everyone's favorite third-party controller maker. Yes, this is a real sad time that none of us saw coming. MADCATZ, with a Z, is shutting down. Polygon reported that the company filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the United States, and the company's begun to sell off its assets as of this week. Now, you might remember MADCATZ as the company that made all those third-party controllers, flight sticks, and other peripherals dating back to 1989, the ones that you'd always give to your friend when they came over because you didn't want to use it. But it's been in financial trouble for several months and ultimately crumbled after poor sales of Rock Band 4, which MADCATZ co-published and designed the instruments for. So, R.I.P. MADCATZ, for decades. You gave us second sibling controllers, and for that, we salute you. Attendees at CINEMACON got a sneak peek at the new Wonder Woman movie after Warner Brothers showed off footage of the movie. IGN reported that director Patty Jenkins showed off 4 scenes from the upcoming film, including an action sequence in London and a major battle scene in Belgium circa World War I. According to reports, the footage gave a nice overview of the look and tone of the movie, which charts Wonder Woman's origins and her relationship with Air Force pilot Steve Trevor. Movie hits theaters June 2nd. I keep hoping this will be the one. Every time a new DC movie comes out, I'm like, maybe this will be the one. But actually what I've seen of the trailers of Wonder Woman, I'm cautiously optimistic. We'll see. I don't know. We've got some hot Star Wars gossip about a possible movie starring Obi Wan Kenobi. Care to comment, Anthony? No?
I officially have nothing to say about Star Wars, the Star Wars franchise, or Lucasfilm Limited. Thank you.
Good statement. The Star Wars news site Star Wars Newsnet quotes an unidentified source who says Kathleen Kennedy and the rest of Lucasfilm fully intend to make an Obi-Wan movie set between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope with Ewan McGregor in tow. The source also says that Rogue One director Gareth Edwards might direct and that it could be announced at Star Wars Celebration in Orlando in April. Everyone's looking at Anthony right now. If that wasn't enough, the website also says that a long-rumored Boba Fett bounty hunter team movie still could be in the works. Again, nothing confirmed, but boy, that's a lot of stuff for Star Wars fans to chew on. Look, Boba Fett might do something. Isn't that exciting? The recent bill to allow ISPs in the US to sell customers' private data has, well, it's sparked some controversy to say the least. It's been approved by the House and the Senate, and now it's going to President Trump for approval. And the bill's led some people to think, well, what if we found out what members of Congress are doing on the web? Recently, Max Temkin, the creator of Cards Against Humanity, promised on Twitter that he will buy up the browser histories of every member of Congress and their staff and publish them as revenge for the bill's passage. After the bills passed, the AV Club reported that he matched donations up to $10,000 to the pro-internet privacy group, the Electronic Frontier Foundation. And if and when that private data does become available, Temkin says that he and his company will buy it, put it online. So watch your step, Congress. You don't want to piss off the card game makers. No, no, no. SpaceX recently accomplished something pretty significant and awesome in the field of space travel, and I don't mean having a figurine in Mass Effect Andromeda. Last night, they launched one of their Falcon 9 rockets into space, sending a communications satellite into orbit, but this is the second time that that booster portion of the rocket had been sent into space, which is a first, according to the New York Times. Usually, they just make a new one every time. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk explained on a live stream why that's important. This is going to be a huge revolution in spaceflight. It's the difference between if you threw away an airplane after every flight versus if you could use them multiple times. And being able to reuse part of a rocket means saving an awful lot of money, as in tens of millions of dollars. So this is one baby step closer to actual space travel, which could ultimately lead to more commercial and tourism flights to space. And who knows what else? Maybe we'll find some Mass Effect relays and a giant, crazy alien race will come for us. Isn't that exciting? Musk has said he wants to eventually send people to Mars, which is a start. So maybe this will be a historic turning point. Hopefully it will turn out better than most of our sci-fi series, because we generally end up having to escape Earth. And that's not a bright, shiny future. So we'll see. That's all the news we have for you guys today. Let us know what you think of all the stories down in the comments. And make sure you like this video so that we know that you care. Because you do, right? And if you're new around here, subscribe to the Know. I did it with only a couple of boo-boos.
That was almost flawless.
I had like 3 or 4 mess-ups.
It was also long, and you finished it under 10 minutes.
Well, ready? Here, flip. I actually... pardon me as a burpee. Oh, it tastes like avocado. $149. Oh, he likes Ultimately. It's at a